So this teenage boy is getting ready to take his girlfriend to the prom, and he has to rent a tux first. So he goes to the tux shop, and there's a long line at the tux shop, but he gets it, obviously. He's got to get a tux. So then he goes off, and he needs to get some flowers. He's got to get a corsage and stuff, and so he goes to the florist, but there's a long florist line. A lot of things going on there. But he, of course, waits, got to have flowers for the date, and he gets things done. Then, obviously, he needs to rent a limo, so he goes to the rental place, but there's a long limo line. It just takes forever, and he's running out of time. But he gets it done, and the limo comes and picks up him and his girlfriend. And so finally he's at the prom, everything's come together, they're happily dancing, and, a song ends, and his girlfriend says, "Hey, I want some punch." So, he goes over to where the punch is, and there is no punchline. Hey there, this is your pal Pallie, and welcome back to Overrated. This is episode number 25. We've gotten a quarter of a century episode. Woo! It's about half a year almost here, so again, appreciate you guys watching and subscribing and all that other fun jazz. Today's topic for discussion is the new patch changes for Valor in the new 5.4.8 patch. In case you don't know, there's going to be some interesting changes there and warrants some discussion. But first, really quickly, I'm probably going to produce some additional content. I'm going to start doing these smaller videos just to give I want to reach out further than just sort of the normal hardcore rating community, whatever you want to call it. Reach out further and give people some more tips on playing a hunter, or leveling to 90, or playing pet battles, or just a lot of things like that. Smaller things, like 5 minutes. And I want to be able to produce them quickly, get them out there, and have them up. So look for that. I know they'll probably be up on TankSpot, so check them out there, or certainly subscribe to my channel, and you'll be the first to know once that stuff comes out. So again, thanks for the support. Trying to produce some more stuff for you guys. Awesome. Alright, so the big topic of discussion, Valor changes in patch 5.4.8. What's changing? Well, in case you don't know, basically you'll be able to quadruple upgrade your items using Valor points. So currently, you can take a 553 normal mode item and upgrade it to 561. When this patch hits, you'll be able to upgrade it 2 more times to bring it up to 569. So your item will have gone 553 to 569, a whole 16 eye levels. Cool stuff. And if you are like me and you're capping out on Valor every week, it actually means some pretty big upgrades for you, because my item level is currently 579, not bragging and saying I'm awesome, I got some gear, yeah. No, just saying that's where I'm at. And if you have 3,000 Valor, you'll be able to upgrade 6 items, and then of course you have another 1,000 to gain that week for the weekly cap. So 4,000 Valor equals 8 items upgraded, which is about half of your gear. So that's a huge power upgrade. I calculated it out, and my item level would go from 578 to 584 approximately, depending on what items I upgrade and all that other jazz. But it's a significant amount of eye levels, so that's important to note. And just a couple other notes before we'll dive into more details. But if you have a Garrosh heirloom item that you're using, although all the heirloom items will be upgraded, but they will upgrade automatically to what that higher item level is. So right now I've got some 561 normal mode Garrosh heirloom weapons. All of those will go immediately, right on the patch day. They'll immediately go to 569. So if you're using one of those as your main weapons, bonus. That's one you don't have to upgrade yourself. However, as of right now, they've said that the legendary cloak itself, which is item level 608, you'll have to upgrade that yourself. But it will allow you to go from 608 to 616. So, a lot of cool power. A lot of fun stuff doing that. Again, that as part of your whole gear set, you can upgrade it. Cool. Awesome. So, what does this mean? Well, let's talk about the power upgrades, because that's kind of the exciting stuff, and then we'll talk about what this means for rating. So, imagine that, I upgrade all of my gear in that first week, and that results in me doing, I don't know, let's be generous, say I do 20k more DPS per week, or, per raid encounter. Take that and multiply it by the number of DPS that you have in your group, and that's how much more raid DPS you're doing. So a group where you've got, 17 DPS for a 25 man or something on average, that's like 340k more DPS for your raid. That's a pretty significant chunk. Again, assuming everyone upgrades, assuming everyone does that, which we'll talk about how to do that and how to push people to do so. But that's a significant chunk of raid DPS. So, and that's not to mention how good the healers will have stronger heals, so they'll be able to use, have more mana. It's certainly not going to affect their mana pool. That's, static at this point. But tanks will have more stamina, more survival. They'll get more stats that gives them, etc. Better survivability, etc., etc. But someone sort of calculated it out and said at the end of all of this, basically, it's like a 7% power upgrade in general. I'll source the number at some point, but someone sort of did a whole bunch of math and said it'd be about that much. Let's be generous and say it's like a 10%. It makes it easier to work with number-wise. So, first off, your question may be, why is Blizzard doing this? Well, it's because at this point for this tier, they consider item upgrades in the Valor system as like a way to slowly nerf content, slowly nerf the raid instance, slowly nerf dungeons, etc., etc. So what this means is that we've hit a point, for a couple reasons, where people are either stuck on an encounter, or not progressing as well, people burning out, which I've certainly seen. My raid group has certainly had quite a bit of turnover and frustration and all that other jazz that goes along with that. But it's also a point where the instance has been out for quite a while, and so Blizzard certainly has done this for every raid tier, has nerfed encounters or nerfed the instances to sort of encourage people to go out there and try a new difficulty or try a new boss or finally get that one boss down that you didn't think you'd get. And raid nerfs come in for those reasons. For, progression is stopped, content is old, and they want to encourage people to keep playing. Obviously, that's their business model. They want to keep people paying their sub, and they get money, and they make more stuff, and everyone's happy. Well, okay, not everyone in the WoW community is always happy. Learn that easily. You learn that like day one or something. You'll find someone the first day. You'll be like, oh, that's the guy who complains about Blizzard all the time or complains that everything's terrible, blah, blah, blah. You'll find that guy. Like, first day that you play the game, you will find that guy. No. Anyway, it's not me. It's not me. Usually. But anywho, this Valor, allowing people to use Valor to upgrade their items even further is essentially the nerf, or the big nerf, to Siege of Orgrimmar. They've done a couple targeted nerfs a couple months ago to certain encounters on certain difficulties, etc., etc., where they said things were sort of out of whack between difficulties, or this was just not as good as it should have been. So they've done that stuff already, and they certainly nerfed like flex encounters in LFR and kind of stuff, so that's happened. But this is more of like a blanket nerf to the encounter by making players stronger. And they've accomplished raid nerfs in a number of different ways in the past. Certainly everyone can remember the Icecrown Citadel, buffs that slowly went from 5% all the way up to 30%. And it basically gave you that additional stamina, damage, and healing, so you were 30% better when you stepped into Icecrown Citadel at the end of it all. They've done things where they have nerfed the instance slowly. So they nerfed this raid instance by 5%, then 10%, then 15%. This is sort of Dragon Soul thing that they did. So that's been something that they've done to approach it. In the past two raid tiers, or at least for this tier, they actually put the Valor upgrade system in place so that it would slowly nerf itself over the course of time. So as people acquired better items, and as people upgraded those items with Valor, it sort of provided a slow, smooth curve of, well, player power is increasing, so kills should increase, etc., etc. But we're at the point where people either, have burnt out, in which case, it doesn't matter too much, but their player power is maybe stagnated by not being able to down a new boss, or they've, hit the wall at some point and been like, well, I just can't get any more upgrades until we're, further in the instance, that kind of thing. Which is, which happens, which is understandable. It happens to raid teams all the time. So people just aren't getting those upgrades, and they're capped out on Valor every week, and there's nothing they can use their upgrades. Certainly, I've been capped at 3,000 Valor for quite a long time, and, even when I get lucky in a raid week, and be like, oh man, like one raid week I got like 3 items or something. It was like, oh wow, that was a ton. And I certainly ran out and upgraded them right away and got them going. But, I was back to that cap within that week, or even, just into the next week. So I've been capped for quite a while. I'm sure there's a lot of people who are in the same boat. And so this is certainly going to be a way where I'm going to immediately gain a lot of power that first week, because I'm going to be able to upgrade like half my gear. 8 items with the 4,000 Valor that'll essentially have that week. So yeah, I'm going to be more powerful. Your whole raid group can be more powerful. And that is essentially the nerf to the whole instance. Now, careful that you don't assume that this means that the whole instance is just going to be that much easier. There are certain encounters where it's going to be like, oh yeah, this is just going to be easier. So like take Thok the Bloodthirsty encounter. It's simply a stand next to the dino, beat the crap out of him, then there's this little intermission where we run around a little bit, but then we just stand there, we DPS, we heal hard, we do our cooldowns, we do that kind of stuff. That kind of encounter will easily be directly affected by this power increase by players. It's going to be like, oh, we killed him before the fire phase, or we killed him before the transition to the fire phase, or we killed, whatever. We're going to kill him earlier. It's just going to be, you're going to walk in there and be like, oh, wow, sweet, we killed him faster. That's a new record for us. Awesome. It's just going to straight up help you there. But you think about an encounter like Paragons, and I'm thinking already in my head about Paragon's Heroic because I've been doing it so many times. A rapid fire, that little ball comes out there. Even if you have 10%, 7% more health, that thing's still going to one-shot you. You can't just stand in it. So certainly mechanic-heavy fights are going to be less affected by this nerf. Maybe you're going to be able to do more healing to save that person who messes up, or have a bigger absorb on them, or whatever. But still, people are going to have to pay attention to mechanics. Walking into Garrosh Heroic is probably going to help us once we get back there again, because there's a lot of hard DPS checks there. There's a lot of hard mechanic changes and transitions, and certainly at the end, but there's a lot of you really need to kill him off or get him push his phase before the third one of this spawns, or before he gets to 25 energy, or before whatever. So that will certainly help my raid group at least. And yeah, certainly a lot of people are mad, bro, about this, from the standpoint of, oh, why now? We're just about to kill X boss, and now this is going to make it feel crappy. There's certainly no way around that. People are going to be like, oh, well, you should have killed it 4 months ago. Well, people have different skill levels, people have different raid schedules, times, they push harder, they, are as casual about it, whatever. There's a lot of reasons why people aren't done with Heroic Garrosh. There are 3% of the guilds in the world who are done with it. So, I'm not talking to that 3%. You guys are done. You're just going to get faster farming out of this. It's people who are still working through that instance, which is the vast majority of guilds doing stuff. And this is just going to boost people up just a little bit. Now, I think there will probably be something additional in maybe 2 months or so, because obviously I'm going to get my power upgrade the first week that this patch drops, which the patch is on PTR right now. I don't know. We don't have an idea of when it's going to come out. My guess is another 2-3 weeks, something like that at most. I don't know. I don't know for sure. I'm not a Blizzard employee giving hints out or something like that. But I'm going to get that power that first week, and then I'll need another 4,000 Valor or so that's like 4 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks of me getting my Valor and getting all my upgrades, assuming I don't get any new gear. So within a month and a half, if you get no new gear, you're gonna be at the peak of upgradeness. That's a word. It's a new word. You're gonna be at the peak of upgradeness, and you're gonna have nothing to do with your Valor again. Certainly, you'll be, cap it all the way up to 3,000 again. And if you get a new piece, awesome. You get it upgraded real quick. Off you go. But within about, let's say 2 months, people are going to hit the limit of this system, and who knows what they're going to do at that point. Maybe they start doing targeted nerfs to the encounters, but there's going to be another brick wall at that point. Maybe there's going to be a lot more beta information and people aren't going to care as much, but I would guess in that 2 to 3 month time frame, we're talking July or so, depending on how the beta of Warlords is going. I would bet if, we're talking end of the year, we're talking November, December for Warlords, I would guess within 2 to 3 months of this patch happening, if Warlords isn't coming out earlier than November, December, there's going to be some sort of targeted nerf. It would be really silly if they made you be able to upgrade it even further, because that'd be like, really, really, guys. But, I think there'll be something additional at some point. Because this is a Band-Aid. This is a Band-Aid. This is like, oh, we really need to nerf the content and we don't want to mess with the encounter, so let's just stick this on there. Done. And it will accomplish that effect for the next few months. It will do. It will do. But certainly what I wanted to talk about as well is people will be upset at this for a number of reasons, but one of those that I want to help out with at least is oh man, I just log on to Raid, that's all I want to do, but now I'm going to have to cap my Valor every week. Really? Really, Blizzard? I don't want to do that. Me personally, I don't really care. It's not that hard to do so, and that's what I'm going to try to explain. There are a variety of ways to get your Valor done. Obviously, raiding gets you a decent chunk. If you even do like 10 bosses in the instance, or even 10 on Flex or anything like that, that's like 400 some Valor. That's a pretty big chunk. They are also providing a new way to get Valor with the patch, which is to turn in 1,000 timeless coins from Timeless Isle, and you get 100 Valor. Happy Skippy. And it counts to your weekly cap and all that other jazz. So there's those, raiding, timeless coins is going to be a new one. But all of the classic methods that have been there for so long. Daily quests, okay, no one's going to go out and cap their Valor with daily quests. Sorry, I just had to suggest it. Actually, sometimes I do that just to get the lesser coin, so I get my... anyway, no one's going to do that, but okay. But things are easier these days. If you go and do a heroic scenario, you can get a heroic scenario going in like no time in trade chat. Just be like, looking for one more. Boom, done, off you're in. And those are, close to 200 Valor if you get the bonus objectives. I think it's like maybe 150. Yeah, I'm sorry, it's like 150 if you get the bonus objectives. So that's a big chunk. And doing a daily dungeon, the first one of those is 80 Valor. And I mean, dungeons, depending on how geared you are, they don't take that long. I mean, really, we're talking like 15, 20 minutes at worst. And you get your 80 Valor and off you go. And I mean, speaking of, fun, easy things, if you're someone who's raiding Siege at this point, go queue up for the MSV for Mogashan Vault's LFR. You'll be surprised at how quick it is to go through that. And it's 90 Valor for the first time. You can even run it again for 45 Valor. It's just like, I'm done. Damn, that was quick. Try that, because it's really fun to go back there and, kill the stone guard dogs again for old time's sake, that kind of thing. So run LFRs. I mean, and here's one method for a small subsection of people, but if you have done challenge modes before, get the old gang together, or get most of the old gang together, and go do some challenge modes for Valor. They are a lot of Valor if you can get gold and if you can do the daily. There's a daily quest for Valors, or for challenge modes. So go do that too, because that will zoom you through Valor really quickly. And the point of challenge modes is to do the thing quickly. So yeah, it makes sense. It'll be quick for you. Certainly don't take that recommendation as like, oh, well, Pallie said challenge modes are a quick way to do it. If you've done it before. And, not to discourage people, but if you're trying to get through it and you're just like, wow, this is freaking ridiculously hard, and it took us like 3 hours to, finally get the method to get gold. Yeah, that's not a very quick method to get you Valor points, but challenge modes are an interesting thing, and so if you want to explore them, and certainly Blizzard has warned us that gear is going away, and those achievements are going to be feats of strength, all that other jazz. So now's the time. If you're bored or you're looking for something to do, now's the time to maybe progress on those challenge modes and get them done for yourself, for the gear, for the mounts, and all that other jazz. But I don't know. If you're good at challenge modes, if you've done them before, you'll get your Valor in no time with this, if you can get your group, going on it. So there's just a lot of ways. I mean, hell, even queuing for a regular scenario, not even a heroic scenario, it's like 50 Valor. That should take you like, if you're a Siege Raider, Siege of Orgrimmar Raider, it should take you like 10 minutes at most for 50 Valor. Like, bam, 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 I just killed everything. Okay, we're done. Seriously, go do it. It's not that hard. So, but I do understand that this is probably a change that's going to be a little controversial because of people wanting to just be like, oh, Siege has been out for so long, I don't want to do any extra work to get myself the nerf. Certainly, it's a very interesting move by Blizzard to make us get the nerf, make us go out and do it, because, yeah, before they just sort of handed it to everyone. Now it's like, go work for it, guys, go get it. I still think that within 2 to 3 months of this coming out, there's going to be something else that nerfs the instance and lets people, finish up and get their mounts and get their titles or whatever. But we'll see. So, of course, this is one that may have many comments on it, and I appreciate and read every comment and all that kind of jazz. So, what do you guys think of this change? What do you guys think of the Valor change coming with patch 5.4.8? Leave a comment below and or comment on tankspot.com. Register for user there, real easy. Post. There's lots of nice people there. They are enjoyable. But anywho, that's about it for the episode in general. Certainly look out for some quick content coming from me about Hunter 101, rotations, paladin stuff, leveling, I don't know, just a lot of stuff. I got a lot of ideas coming out. Really excited about it. Really want to get a lot of things out in front of you people and get more audience and get people watching stuff more regularly. So take a look for that. Really quick Insane Update achievement. I didn't actually talk about it last time, but I put a little annotation at the end of my video. But I still have to wait for Darkmoon Faire in 2 more weeks. So that's when I'll get the Insane achievement, and I will be happy and insane. Yes, happy and insane. That's what we want. Good Pallie. Anywho, that's it for episode number 25 of Overrated, talking about all of the Valor enhancements in patch 5.4.8, which should be due out soon, and hopefully sooner than beta. Still waiting for a beta key. Right here. Anywho, thanks guys for watching. Please comment, like, subscribe as usual, and have a good one.